Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update for March 27th through to April 3rd. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to get to this reading today. I've just been feeling this beautiful forward momentum, this beautiful energy, especially since we've now officially started Aries season. You can feel that fiery, passionate energy, that motivation that seems to be on the rise. And that's definitely coming through for our next 7 days. So get ready, get excited. There's lots of good to come. So we have a beautiful theme to start off our week, which is really closing up those final chapters. So I've really been feeling the past few weeks that we've been really kind of clearing up and tying up those loose ends in our lives. So this week we are definitely wrapping things up with that. So I feel like we've been doing a lot of healing. We've been doing a lot of work on ourselves to ensure that this next chapter that we're beginning is starting without bringing this forward baggage, I almost want to say. So this week feels a lot of almost like cleaning up those final few things, tying up those loose ends so we can really say goodbye to the past and move into this next chapter and the beginning of our new and exciting future. So we have a beautiful message of getting hopeful, getting excited of what's to come next. And with this, it's almost like we're learning to reignite that childlike wonder and curiosity and zest for life. And this has been coming through for the past few weeks to really cultivate that childlike innocence, remembering how you used to live life before the responsibilities, before the pressure, before the big conditioning and programming that all of us received when we became more aware and older. So it's like coming back to that innocence within ourselves and going, wow, life is truly beautiful, and taking that opportunity to address our lives in that way with almost like those rose-colored glasses is very encouraged this week. So get hopeful, get excited about what's to come, and relax into the plan of your life. So what channeled through was trusting you are going the right way and you've made the right choices for yourself. So we almost have this encouragement to review the recent seeds that we've planted, those manifestations. We had that beautiful new moon last week, so I feel a lot of us were doing manifestation work. So it's like meditate on that. Take some time to really ruminate on what seeds you've planted, what seeds you're in the middle of planting now, and start cultivating that trust. Everything is going exactly how it should, and really give yourself that support, because I definitely feel like this week we might have some of those fears and trepidations that might come up to hinder that and kind of squander our joy, because that really is what ends up happening most of the time. We get excited, we are looking forward to these new things, and then that thought comes in and it's like, but what if this happens? Or what if this was to come to pass and sabotage my success? A lot of times it's very natural for us as human beings to kind of self-sabotage our joy a little bit and that excitement and enthusiasm. So what we're getting this week, it's like while we're meditating on these new things, try to not let that voice come in and really give yourself this moment, this opportunity. Even if you wanted to set an intention where it's like, I'm not going to listen to my fear. I'm just going to give myself this time to be excited about what's coming next. And what they're really showing me is this energy of peace that's coming in. And if you've been listening to the past few updates, there has been so much energy around cultivating the divine feminine, and learning how to be more present, learning how to slow down, to have balance between the masculine and feminine energies, which really means we're learning to trust ourselves. We're learning to trust the universe is going to be there to provide for us, that we're safe to be as we are, and to embrace those more nurturing qualities within ourselves. And if we've been really listening and working with these energies and cultivating the divine feminine more within ourselves, we're getting this commendation that we are really creating more of this balanced life for ourselves. So the more we cultivate the divine feminine, the more we trust, we flow, we allow grace into our lives, the more that's echoing out into the future, creating this balanced future, creating this balance of peace. And so what I'm really seeing is a lot of us have been doing that work, and because of that, that's exactly what's manifesting for us. And they're giving us almost this almost like this confirmation that yes, this is what is going to be in store for us. So if you've been worried, if a lot of those fears have been coming in like, well, what if my life is just going to revert back regardless of all this work that I've done? What really channeled was like, no. So I feel like that might be a specific message for some of you this week, but to trust that the hard work you've put in is paying off. You are going to have a peaceful, beautiful existence. And that is very possible for all of us now by cultivating that divine feminine energy and bringing it into harmony with the masculine. So don't worry about pushing or fighting or striving, because I see that being a big fear for us, because we've lived our lives predominantly in that masculine energy. And until now, this is like such a pivotal moment in our collective, because until now, we haven't really been encouraged to cultivate the feminine. But now we are. Now this is coming forward for all of us to learn. And it's really special. It's really pivotal that we take advantage and do this. So it's like, as long as you commit to yourself to stay balanced, to meet your needs, to become your own best friend, it's like you no longer need to push. You no longer need to strive. And I'm seeing a lot of us have learned this lesson. So do not fear. As long as you keep up this work and you keep allowing yourself to be in that energy of love and acceptance, that is what's in store for you. So what I wrote here was, don't fear, put those fears to rest. Life is not going to be the same. Life is not going to be life as you once knew it. So have that hope, get excited. You have created this beautiful new adventure. And what I'm really hearing is this next chapter for a lot of us, it's going to be totally different than how we've lived life before, because we are going to be living life on our terms. We're going to be living life in balance and in harmony with the feminine. So we're not going to be living in this fight or flight response anymore unless we let it. So set clear intentions for the future. And this is what was coming in next. Seeing what is worthy of you now. So with this new chapter that's starting, and I really feel it's started, which is exciting. It's like we're now really changing our perspectives. We're seeing how we're worthy. We're seeing how the past has almost like sabotaged our worthiness, and we're beginning to open our eyes to the truth that we have always been worthy, that we have always been deserving. And now that we're stepping into that knowing and that truth, it's changing things. It's shifting the vibrations of the world around us, of our personal bubble, so to speak, because we've changed. And with this empowerment that's taking place, we're really seeing a shift that's happening. And I'm seeing this shift take place in our finances, and I'm also seeing this shift take place very largely in our relationships. And it's echoing out so much healing. So what I just heard was it's coming to closure because you are recognizing your worth. And with that, this gratitude ensues. It's like we truly become grateful for the past, for the lessons we gained, because they got us to this point. They got us to this pivotal moment in our journey where it's like, I now do love myself. I now do see how I deserve a good life. And I do see that I'm lovable. And it's absolutely amazing. It's so transformative. And it's like this emotion that hits when we finally see it. We finally believe it. And we're claiming life in such an empowered way. And because of that, we're letting those relationships go that did not serve, and we're holding gratitude for it. We're like, bye, have a great life, and we're happy about it. We're like, thank you for teaching me how I don't want to be anymore. Thank you for teaching me that I'm not worthy of toxicity. And it's like this joyous fulfillment that comes in because you're fulfilling yourself. You are filling those needs that you thought you needed to gain externally. And you're the one who's filling up your cup with love. And it's like, yes. There's so much yes this week. It's so beautiful and exciting. And we're becoming grateful for what has been lost. And this is what is allowing new to start coming in. And it's coming in quick. Like, that's what it feels, this energy, especially now with Aries in spring. It's like, oh my gosh, things are starting to grow. The winter is thawing. The snow is thawing. We're getting this new, fresh perspective. And we're getting this new growth that is starting to birth, and it's absolutely amazing to watch. And so with that excitement comes in because we're becoming thankful for the past, and we're able to actually let it go with joy, with love even in our hearts. And they're almost showing me someone waving, and it's like, you're saying goodbye with love. It's like, bye. Oh, it just makes me excited. So I just keep feeling this energy that's absolutely stunning with this. And we're having this awareness about how we've actually learned to drop into our true selves and how we've actually dropped into self-love. And with this love of self, with this awareness of how we actually deserve, we're becoming more in love with life itself. So our perspective has shifted so much from one of lack, from one of where I'm not good enough. We're shifting this now to a perspective of really seeing all the good. And it's almost like you're searching for it now. You're searching for the good in life instead of the bad. And so that's why at the beginning of this reading, they kept showing me the rose-colored glasses. It's like, put those babies on. Let yourself look through the lens of love. Let yourself look through those shades of beauty. And it's like, how can we start living life that way every single day? And we transform with this. Gratitude, love, those are the highest vibrations available. And that's exactly what's coming through. It's like this love that's flowing, this love that you are giving out, and it's being returned to you. And it's this attraction that's happening. So huge week to manifest. And that's what's really coming forward, is this awareness of how when you are in those vibrations, you are just attracting things. And it's absolutely amazing. And with this, we're recognizing the good. We're seeing all the beauty. We're cherishing our current relationships. And with that, I feel like there might be actually some new relationships that have recently entered, or you might have come in this week. So be very mindful of people you are drawn to this week. Be very mindful of who you intuitively feel you need to reach out to or associate with, because they're really showing me that that energy is super crucial for you, even in your healing, even in feeling good about yourself, and also towards your manifestation abilities, because that energy really affects your energy. And I think I made this point last week as well, on how that energy is so crucial, how the people we surround ourselves with really impact how we live life. So if you haven't already, from last week's advice, taken that advice and been mindful of who you're associating with, please do that this week. So there's this awareness coming in: who makes you feel drained, who fills your cup, and how could you make sure that you are only surrounding yourself with people who lift you up and who actually give back to you. So there's this equal exchange in energy. And with that, I'm seeing this gratitude as well coming in those relationships, where we're so thankful for our connections. We're so thankful for our soul family, and we're cherishing them. So take those opportunities to do that this week. How can you show your love? How can you spread a little kindness and appreciation to those in your life who have stuck with you, who have shown up and continue to do so and continue to grow with you in your journey? Make sure you really prioritize those people this week. Excuse me. So from there, we have a theme of putting in the legwork. And it's almost like getting this motivation to work in this balanced way, right? We always want to keep balanced, but it's like putting in the work for the new life that we are creating. So what I'm really seeing is some research coming in, some study, perhaps some new education that's coming in this week, where we're being proactive. It's like, okay, if I know I have this goal of becoming this person by next year or whatever it is, it's like, how can I start putting in the steps? How can I start researching? How can I become more knowledgeable about what I need to do to get to this next point, this next part of my dreams, this next part of my life? And once again, they're reminding us to get into the experience, to enjoy this journey. And I'm really feeling that with this Aries energy, it's actually bringing this new enthusiasm to learn and study and educate and build that knowledge. And it's exciting. Once again, it builds this new momentum of looking forward to things. And I'm seeing a lot of us enjoy learning. We're enjoying that process. And it helps us picture those dreams. So the other thing that they're suggesting, if you are struggling with this, if you're like, okay, I know I have these dreams, but I'm not sure what actions to take, or you are picturing your dreams and you're trying to picture them, but you can't seem to go all the way. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times we can struggle picturing what that would actually be like, and we put limits on what's achievable for ourselves, or we don't really follow through our dreams to completion because we're afraid that something's going to sabotage it, right? So this week we're being called to follow through our dreams, even in our imagination, to conclusion, where it's like, okay, I'm going to picture myself as already done the education, as already standing in this position I want, or already having the career that I want, and I'm going to visualize it, I'm going to feel it, I'm going to experience it. You know, what would it look like? What would it feel like? And with that, I'm hearing we're going to have a lot of the action steps revealed from that, because we're now believing that it's true, that we're capable, that we can have this future when we start actually picturing it. So allow yourself to go into the healing as well. If you notice you're holding back or you're unable to go to completion in your imagination or in your visuals, and allow yourself to bring that awareness to what is holding me back. Why can't I picture the future? And do a little bit of that soul searching to see what perhaps could be hindering you for those dreams. And then from there, we have this beautiful theme of nutrition and wellness. So another avenue of where we might need to bring in some more balance. So this week, we're being very encouraged to really see where our perspectives lie when it comes to our bodies, when it comes to our health. So they're bringing this awareness in of where we might have to start cultivating more of this balance between the divine feminine and masculine in this specific area of our lives. So what I was being shown was this beautiful table full of food, and it was like a huge array. There was like every type of food you can think of, and it was like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, take a little bit of that, almost like a buffet where you have so much selection. And it's funny because they kind of showed me this visual last week, but applied differently. So this week it's like actual food. So how can you find the nutritional balance that your body needs? So this week we're being called to go in and intuitively feel out, where am I lacking nutrition? Where am I needing more protein? Where am I needing more vitamins, more minerals, more life force energy from food? So they're definitely suggesting making sure you're meeting your nutritional requirements and to release any sort of rigidity when it comes to eating. So once again, we have to find the balance. We don't want to be too lax where we're not exercising, we're not eating well, we're not caring. And then we don't want to go to the other extreme where we care so much that we're becoming obsessive about our food. We're becoming obsessive and counting every single thing, weighing every little thing. Those are things that can cross into dangerous territory. So with that, it's like, where am I when it comes to my health? And how can I ensure that I find this balance for my life? So they were showing me just have balance. What are you feeling you really need? What is it your body is lacking? And how can you feel the very best version of yourself and feel good? So they gave some tips here this week to start going into. So if you're struggling with meeting your nutritional needs, it's like, well, maybe this is something we need to research, like what foods could give me that nutrient, and how can I start incorporating more nutritional food into my meals. So they kind of gave this example of meal planning. So planning ahead, what are you going to make this week? And they're also encouraging this for budget for a lot of people who are struggling. It was really interesting. So they're giving us these tips. Meal plan. Make sure you're buying quality food. Make it yourself if possible. And they're really saying take action in this. So plan what you need to plan. Do what you need to do. And with this, I'm seeing a lot of blocks actually release as we bring this focus on health. So where are you not feeling good? Where have you been feeling energetically stifled or sluggish or not fully well? And how can we start releasing these blocks? And one of these areas they're kind of pointing out is actually digestion. Very interesting. So they're showing me the tummy at this time. So the digestive tract, the tummy. So if you've been feeling sluggish in your tummy, if you haven't been If you haven't been digesting well, it's like, okay, now that I have that awareness, this is my physical issue. Well, what can I do to take action? So number one, you can look at the chakra system. So if you're eating well, if you've made those changes, you're incorporating the supplements to support your body, it's like, well, where is the energy, unbalanced? So for tummy and gut issues, we'd want to look at the solar plexus. Well, solar plexus, what does that have to do? What are the main functions of the solar plexus? It has to do with confidence. It has to do with standing tall, with having, being able to digest life. So then we want to go, where am I struggling to digest life? Like, where in my life am I having a hard time truly assimilating? The next question you could ask is, where am I lacking confidence in myself? Where am I not within my power? Where am I not claiming my life? And so these are things we can start asking to start healing energetically and physically all these issues that might be coming forward. So that's just one small example, but having the awareness to treat the entire body as opposed to just the physical is coming in this week. So interestingly enough, confidence was a word that came up after this. So it's time to fall in love with yourself. It's time to fall in love with your body. And what channeled was this question, where are you still not enough? Okay, so if you've been struggling with body image, if you've been struggling with loving your body, I'm hearing we need to put a special emphasis on this week. Drop into the acceptance of all of you. Drop into the acceptance of where you are now. And realize that perhaps you're shifting your perceptions. So a lot of times we have this very one-sided view of how our bodies need to be. And that can even cross into dietary restrictions, how we should be eating, or how we should be exercising. Society has a lot of strong opinions on that. So as we start shifting our perceptions to love-based perceptions, to belief systems that actually work for us personally, we may begin to see how that is going to look different than what society has showcased or what we might have originally thought we needed it to be or look like. So they're giving me this example of someone who's healthy, but still criticizing themselves because they're not meeting the societal standard. And this can happen for a lot of people where it's like maybe you still have a little bit of a muffin top, or maybe you still have a little extra. And with that, what I'm really being shown is like we have to start changing the picture of what we think is beautiful and embracing what is and what actually is beautiful. And you, every single part of you is already enough. And so as we shift these perspectives and as we shift and we adjust from what we thought we needed to be into who we are and what's healthy for us, this might actually be very eye-opening. So the other example they're using is in workout styles. So perhaps we've been taught, well, we need to do this style of workout. We need to work hard. We need to almost like go till you drop mentality. And once more, this is very much pushing that masculine energy where it's the do, the go, go, and the force and the struggle and strive. But perhaps that's not what our body actually needs right now. Perhaps our body actually needs more of a feminine style of workout. So that could very well be more yoga. That could very well be more Pilates or these slower, more graceful, gentle movements. Maybe our bodies actually will respond to that more than coming from struggle, push, and strive. And I'm not saying we shouldn't push ourselves, we shouldn't avoid those styles, but it's like, where do we need balance? And with that, we're adjusting once again what we thought we needed to do, what we've been told, even conditioned to believe with our health, and to what actually serves us, to what actually is healthy for your body, your personal, individualized genetic makeup. And we are shifting these perceptions and learning to accept our bodies as they already are. So once more, it's like we might compare ourselves. We might be like, wow, this celebrity has no fat. They've got rock hard abs. They've got this. But it's like, but is that actually healthy? Is that actually attainable? And is that something sustainable for the average person? And what is balanced? If you naturally get those abs, great. But if you're someone who won't or has a hard time doing that because your body needs a little additional, it's like coming to that acceptance of that and going, you know what, this is my body that's healthy. And working towards health rather than the picture of health. And that's something that a lot of people will be shocked by, is we can know a lot of people who are really fit and appearance-wise seem healthy, but internally aren't at all. And so when health issues arise or these people struggle, it comes as a shock because they look healthy, but that doesn't mean they are. So ask yourself the cost of what it would be to actually achieve that unattainable standard in many ways to yourself, to your well-being, to your mental health, to your physical health, and really weigh those options. What is sustainable for you? What does balance look like for you in the area of health? And how can you start approaching your health with more of a loving, balanced perspective? So with this is actually amazing because we're creating authenticity in all areas, including our health, including our appearance, including all of these things. So it's not just about our emotions. It's not just about physical. It's everything all encompassed. How can we become the most authentic version of self? What is truest for me as an individual? And we're really starting to bring that full circle. And with that, we have this next theme of reevaluating our values and belief systems. So as we step more fully into who we really are, we might have some beliefs that come up that are now outdated. So is it time to refresh those belief systems? Is it time to reevaluate what you truly value and what your principles are? Have they changed? And where are we still holding on to old, outdated belief systems? So we're getting this encouragement now to go and ask ourselves what needs to be upgraded and how can we reinforce what is now true and right for you now. So once again, not what was right for you even last week. It's like, what is it that is appropriate for me? What is it that resonates for me now in this area of my life? So it's absolutely amazing. So we're having this week this amazing full circle week where we are releasing what doesn't serve. We're making decisions that are in alignment with who we are. We're really cultivating our authenticity. We're checking out our health. We're making sure that we're cultivating balance. And we're really coming to this understanding that life is what we make it. Life will become beautiful if we allow ourselves to perceive it as beautiful. And coming to that inner self-acceptance and knowing. It's absolutely amazing week for that. So last but not least, we have a theme of am I willing? So we might have some new things that we're trying this week. I'm definitely hearing that with the education and study. So there might be some new activities that we are going to be participating in. Some things that we might initially feel a little nervous about trying. But what we're getting is this amazing encouragement to push through. So I want to read this card that I pulled on this topic for us this week. So it says, you are on the edge of something great. Can you feel it? Yes, there is risk. Yes, there is uncertainty and imperfections ahead. Failure is certain and vulnerability is a requirement. You must be brave and trust yourself more than ever before. You will reach the dream, but you must stretch yourself into a whole new level of belief and willingness in order to move forward with courage. So we have this amazing encouragement to be brave, to follow our heart's calling, and to really allow ourselves to believe that anything is possible. So if doubts creep in this week, if you're like, can I really do this? Am I experienced enough? Am I the right person to do this? We're being called to really step in and bolster our belief in self. Yes, it will be scary. Yes, we might fail. Yes, we might have to be more vulnerable than we ever have been, but we can do this to reach those dreams. And with that, I'm seeing this new awareness come in and confidence drop in when we take those chances, when we take those risks on ourselves. And I'm really seeing them pay off this week. So absolutely amazing week ahead. That is all I have for us in this weekly reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. I love hearing your comments below. Wishing you all a beautiful week. Have a beautiful and blessed day, my friends. Bye.